Hey guys, Stigmata here. I'm here to talk about something that's been on the minds of a lot of people recently. Everybody's been talking about Smash midset coaching. In my experience, Smash midset coaching, it was just always a thing. Coming from the Brawl days, if your homie was losing, you went up, you gave him a couple tips, he got back in the fight. Sometimes it helped, sometimes it didn't. So does it have an effect on the match? It totally does. You're lying if you think it doesn't. That's why we do it. We do it to help. I mean, you can talk about ledge habits, you can talk about air dodge habits, all kinds of different things. You can talk about ways to make someone go into a habit by like just pushing them towards the ledge and then they just feel pressured to roll. Even what character they could use or what kind of stage they can pick, all those sorts of things. It can be so helpful to have somebody like actually tell you what to do rather than just being all by yourself in that. As in any player, I mean, you've got so much you're looking at. Yes, you should be recognizing these habits by yourself, but it's difficult. Even top players don't recognize every single habit their opponent might have. So, totally understandable that you would get a lot from someone who's watching from the outside and has a different perspective, a perspective that's not hampered by having to control their character as well and actually play the game, so they can just see more all the time. Could it benefit one player more than another? Yeah, totally. If someone doesn't have access to coaching, it may look unfair, but I would argue that fair isn't fair either, and I'm gonna have you guys hold on to that one for a second because it might not make a lot of sense automatically. Does it slow things down? That's what a lot of people bring up. I mean, come on, not really. We're talking 30 seconds, twice a set at the most, even in a best of 5. I mean, people are still going to take short rests between games because competition in any sport, even a video game, is really mentally draining. You just need a second to recollect your thoughts. You're probably going to get at least 30 seconds between games anyways. I mean, look back to the days when DeBuzz had his laptop out. He just pull his laptop out, 30 seconds, looking over his notes. Okay, he's good. But everyone's going to take at least 30 seconds between a game, so calling a timeout I don't think really slows things down at all. You can't make players just sit down and do nothing but play their very hardest for hours and hours. And I'm talking about Smash in this case. You can't just make people sit down and do nothing but play for hours, because the fun of the game gets taken out. I mean, some people are already losing the fun of the game because they're being forced to play seriously all the time. And remember guys, we got into this game because it's fun. Why did Smash players start coaching from the beginning? It's just kind of always been in our culture. It's not necessarily a huge part of other solo games culture, and that's because Smash is a community. We've always been about community, created our own scene from nothing, from the ground up, just because we wanted to play the game. We ran tournaments out of our basements, no one but our friends, and some of us found our best friends from nothing but this really awesome common hobby, and that's it. It's a hobby that for many people has become the reason they kept going, because they found some great friends. So when your best friend goes up there, this person who's been with you in times were actually tough in your life, he or she they've talked to you about real life things late hours after gaming, and things got better because this person was good to you and helped you get through a bad place, out of a bad place in your life. And they go up to the stage and they're looking stressed and they lose game 1, and you know their passion is kind of shaking a little bit and they feel humiliated. You can't let it be in yourself to not do anything. There's a guy for the Baltimore Ravens named Ray Lewis. He compared football to war a lot, and yeah, maybe it's a little over dramatic for football, even especially for video games. It's a bit over dramatic, I know, but the metaphor works. So your friend's out there, you know exactly where they are. And you know if the situation was reversed, that they would take a bullet for you. It's a metaphor, guys. Hold on, it's a metaphor. Put your metaphor hat on. But right now, they're in the trenches. There's bullets flying over their head from everywhere. So what are you going to do? You're going to jump in that trench and tell your friend of yours to calm down. It's going to be okay. You're going to be there with them. And that even when they feel like they're going through something alone, they don't have to feel lonely in it. Whether it's in the trench or they're back home and have to deal with new fights, you'll be with them. But right now, it's time to focus on the fight at hand. You're going to tell them that you saw the gunners out there. You're going to work together to take them out and get out of that trench together. That's what you'd do if your real friend was out there in a war zone. And realistically, that's kind of a team metaphor. Yeah, and this is a single player game. a 1v1 game. Smash players are community creatures by nature. It's just who we are. It's where we started from, and it's where we've always been. Whether you started in 64, Melee, Brawl, or you started 2 weeks ago, you play this game because you have friends you jam with, and you have a great time. And it's not always so dramatic, I know. Not everybody has some friend who helps them out of some awful situation in life, but the simplest you can make it is that out there on the stage, your homie's struggling, and you want to help him, not because he's your teammate or he's your investment, but because he's your friend. We want to see our friends do well. That's how we show our love. It's actually necessary for our own good mental health to be charitable to our friends, even in that small way. And if someone doesn't have a coach, and I sort of tend not to believe that they don't have the opportunity for it. I mean, come on, you started playing this game alone? All by yourself, no friends. I don't see it, man, I don't see it. Maybe your friends aren't peers, but they still are friends who care and would want to help. Maybe they're not even present. They can send a text. Maybe they can even watch the stream if you just ask them to, because they would for you. They're your friend. Just to help you. Because they're your friend. And if you're playing this game alone, you should probably stop, because you're playing the wrong way. Smash was meant to be played with 4 people. Sorry, update. 8 people. If you're playing by yourself, it's not like you're not even unlocking all the characters. You need to go back to playing with friends and get yourself somebody who cares, because there's a lot more to this game than this get good mentality. And if you think coaching is breaking the integrity of the game, you're wrong. It's actually the very culmination of the community itself. It represents fraternity at its pinnacle. Maybe I'm wrong. What I've seen from this community leads me to believe that I'm not. Because if you want to ban coaching, I say you want to kill this community. You want to kill the game in favor of playing a game for pure competition. If you want to play a game for pure competition, please play something with more money on the line and quit this game, because this game isn't about the purity of competition. Smash is about community, and we all need to be reminded of that. It's time to play this game for fun again, guys. I understand that this video is super one-sided, but that's intentional. This is an argument, and it's nothing more. The reason I wanted to make it so one-sided is because the community seems to have kind of decided on it. And coaching has been banned in major tournaments, and I think that's wrong. So I am putting this video out there hoping that somebody will see it and bring the argument back again, because I think the argument hasn't been hatted out. I don't think the argument's finished. But that's all for me, guys. Stigmata out. God bless. Peace.